and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Victoria 3 as the Great Qing, where if everything goes well, we're going to try to finish up this basically 100 years run as the Great Qing, and in the meantime try to get the GDP as high as possible, which is probably going to involve a lot of territorial expansion at this point, because we're starting to run out of resources that we can realistically import. Got some minting. Or minting. We're running out of things to build. Currently the queue. More demand for steel. Yeah, we only got 100 steel mills. Unemployed, place the highest unemployment. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna do. We've got transfer subject on Oldenburg as one of our goals, so we're going to naval land Oldenburg. At which point then we're probably going to get driven out of the war, because we're going to drop below 100 war support at that point. Well, we may be driven out of the war anyway, so we want to take that so we can technically win, I suppose. Oldenburg is overloaded by the United States. So yeah, if we can take Oldenburg from them, we'll probably run out of war support and give us what we want, and they just did. Okay, so we got an old bird. Hello, old bird. Oh, you have some oil wells. We'll just build those oil wells for you. There's compression ignition, so that's a way to get, honestly, more iron and coal and stuff out of our mines, which is good to know. Arc welding for the next and probably last tech production will the rest spread to us. Mining wise, if I've got the oil, and could arguably run another 10,000 shortage if we need to. Let's start swapping these over. So that's not going to be a problem. Let's assume those aren't going to be a problem. Let's see how our oil looks with that in effect. Manageable. Expensive, but manageable. And yeah, we could do it to sulfur as well. Coal as well, but we don't currently have very high demands for either of those. A lot of the sulfur, or a lot of the coal demand at this point would come from automation, which we haven't been enacting because we're China and have lots of people. $97 million gainfully employed, another 53 million as peasants. Do we have any... Is the meat still in the construction queue? No, it isn't. Okay. So with that, we want to build up our meat makers. Livestock farms. Peasants. Place with the lowest amount of peasants. I suspect you... Well, you can actually get wheat. I think you're in the middle of the... Nope, you're one of the ones that's not the desert. You're next to the desert. But we're not going to build wheat here, so we know this is going to be a livestock place. And we'll go ahead and subsidize this, because apparently it's not hiring. Oh, this place just says Georgia work. Maybe this isn't a good place to build so many livestock plants. We will subsidize those ones. Okay. Yard of peasants, yard of peasants. Italy here is probably good for like 10. 20 there. Okay. Then opium is the thing we can expand. Let's do... Yeah, let's just do 100 opium plantations. Peasants. In a place where we can grow it is Sichuan. We're just going to slam 100 opium plantations in there. Wonder, how is the transportation market looking? Do we have any places with a deficit of transport? Yes. Not many places that have a severe deficit, though. Oh, you're... Okay, so Korea's got a little bit more problems with their transport than we do. Yeah, given the size of the nation, I think we're starting to reach the point where we're going to want to start activating some of these labor-saving PMs. Probably starting with transport-derived ones. Oh, apparently I got the ideal to potentially drop taxes more. Wanting ideally to target the... or reduce the tax burden on the poor the most. We are subsidizing services. Let's just go ahead and drop that tax. Are they looking at... What's the population one? No. That one. States. Jiangxi is our most populated state. 43 million people. This might seem like a weird thing to do, but we're gonna activate some of the automation here. So we're gonna start first with the railroads. Now we can build up the railroads to support the transportation need first. Give it a tick. Let's see, we're basically 3,000 transport short. I think it's like 50 each. 35. Yeah, 50 each is the base. So 3,000 divided by 50. So 10B500, so about 60 railways? Yeah, 60 railways. Because of that, let's go ahead and drop the tax. We've got some spare decrees. So we've got social mobility there. We'll drop road maintenance as well. Okay, that war's over. Okay, Persia is gone. Exchange, we now have it as one of our states. Okay, so there's a couple places that don't have electricity. We'll have to go fix that. And some places, again, that don't have electricity. So I have a bunch of technologies that in theory Persia didn't have. So we're basically going around and handing them to the Persians. No, we want to stay on life engines. Then we do know that Persia didn't have... basically didn't have any power plants. Okay. So let's fix that. And then we'll try re-electrifying again. Oh, and apparently I think we inherited all of their trade routes. Of course we did. Oh, we did also inherit our coastline. Might try to convince some people to move to the Persian coastline so we can get more ports for more trading. Actually, that would be a good idea to do some decrees. And as they become states, they should come under the influence of our welfare system. And healthcare system, and education system, and all that stuff. Oh, we need more things to build. What's domestic oil looking like? Apparently we already built up all the stuff in Persia. Domestic iron. Bunch in Persia. We don't have an unemployment problem in Persia, that's it's going to basically be where peasants are instead. No, except it's not be a fight. I'd rather fight the Russians than fight my own subjects right now. Getting the good old late game flu. In the middle of the place, so we can't do anything, okay. Gold discovered in Hormza. Immediately add the queue to be built. So I can revisit taxation capacity issues, which at this point in the game is pretty much non-existent. Okay. A bunch of engine demand. 60 more engines. And what does the power look like? 6 there, 6 there, 2 there, 1. Oh no, this is surplus. Never mind. Oh, that float. There we go. Okay. These are subsidized, so in theory, as long as there's people to hire up for them, they should fill up. Okay. Then if we go back to local prices, we can also look at the local price of transport, which is pretty short in a bunch of places. Don't see one hired up yet. Hiring up. Also still got bits of it being instructed. Okay. Okay, much better than where it was. Decent power. Probably needs... Oh, well, we queued up the power already. It might actually need more power now that it's built up, but we'll see. Employment is reasonably reasonable. A third option, apparently. Okay, so thinking about it, let's make sure that's unpublicly traded. Creation should be done by... Nope, not apparently. Apparently not. Haven't finished electrifying. This isn't going to go as well. It's probably not electrified now. The Debris is one of the places that hasn't electrified. Okay, Communist rebels dealt with. Oh, they're still in a civil war. Okay. See if that civil war ever ends. Yeah, I think next thing to do this. Current imbalance, shortage of 900 something, it's 50 each. 20. It's 12. 12. 8. And then once this is done, at least when we run out of space in unfinished things in the or unstarted things in the queue, we'll come back and we'll start to automate a bunch of our rural industries so as to create more demand for more railways. Generates demand for electricity and such. The private construction is taking over more and more of the construction. Partially because I'm just not building more construction right now, I've just been lowering taxes instead. Hanover now supports more oil. So, is that Oldenburg Hanover or Hanover Hanover? Oh, Oldenburg supports some. And we know they're now our subjects, so we'll just go ahead and build that. Landed voting. Okay, that'll cause us to have our first election of the game. Oh, that's a complicated election. So many parties. Up to 1.7 billion GDP. Arguably, I need to continue to lower the tax even more, so not luxury tax, because we're saving up too much money. In fact, we're saving up so much money, I'm going to even go even farther than that. Pull the tax on groceries. Just to try to stimulate the economy. Enter of decency. be who wins this election. We'll reorganize the government as a result. Oh, I was thinking about potentially probably have the oil to swap sulfur over to the oil. Maybe not enough for the coal. Not that we have surplus coal anyway, so we don't need to do it to coal. Yeah, if there's one place to... Well, oil would be Iraq. Korea is tempting just for other reasons. Such as mines and stuff. Yeah, let's try to add Iraq in. No, we can't annex them. We can reduce autonomy. 100% chance they'll just accept that. And no. Arc welded steamships, capital ships, buildings. With that, we want to probably transfer most of that if we can. Okay, let's swap those two. We'll let it tick for a week, and then we'll queue up a bunch more power, local supply power. Okay, that's 15, 16, 14, 12. Okay, that looks good. Military military assistance if we back them. They're already my allies. They just demand I show up, I think. Oh, they're doing a unification thing to try to make Scandinavia. Sure, we'll back them. We'll go full mobilization. Because if we're fighting Russia, we might as well fight Russia. Okay, Iraq back down. So, we're now a puppet. Okay, now reform the government because of an election. Apparently the most stable party combo, so we'll do that. Up to 1.8 billion. And yeah, this wargaming here. Oh, I probably want trench fighting, not wargaming. Wargaming might make sense after we got trench fighting and landing craft done, but yeah, right now our military should be real cheap. It'd be even cheaper if we get the armed forces to be stronger, but I don't think that's happening. Not happening easier. Or easily. Apparently discussing the ethics of exploitation. Bears up to 5. At this point, education's capped by like we still have child labor being a thing. And healthcare's capped by me not having the last healthcare tech. Otherwise, we're basically perfecting stuff. Italian flu is spreading, and, well, because of how this works, there's basically nothing you can do about Italian flu. You can press this button. That brings up the event on how we respond to it. I forgot, maybe I have forgotten. No, we haven't swapped over the film arts. We'll do that. Fire ourselves in the moving picture. In theory, we should be putting a lot of pressure on the Russians. You can see we have a couple victories on the front. Submarines, probably not going to use those. Oh, we need more bureaucracy, surprisingly. Probably due to extending our institutions into Persia. Spanish, interestingly enough, the Spanish flu this game is apparently the Irish flu, or the Italian flu this time. So, because I went for the strict quarantine, we're getting a throughput penalty everywhere the pandemic goes. Appears to mostly be negatively affecting my government administration and infrastructure. A lot of everything else to a certain degree is just overbuilt, so everything else kind of handles it fine. We apparently have demand for art. Not a lot of demand for art, but some demand for art. Yeah, build like 10 art places. Yeah, because of the problem with the flu, our GDP is down. It's negatively affecting the GDP. Who would think minus 50% throughput is going to affect the GDP? Just spam. Why? They're each coming up as an individual one because they'll do it at different times, but definitely not information we need to know about when we're playing at speed 5 and then completely ignoring the war. Okay, we now have a friendly Scandinavia. Alright, so no war with Russia because that would take us over the end of the game. The Ottoman Empire joins in. Okay. Now, we just add less neutrality spam so I can control the army better. This would be a much more enjoyable war. growing flu affecting my bureaucracy. Hopefully it'll go away before the end of the game so we can see what the GDP really looks like without the flu roaming around. $2 billion. Okay, now to really get the construction going, swap over to arc welding buildings. Let it cycle for a week. Then meet the shortage. Let's see where our power is once those are built. Probably actually like building railroads at that point. Yes, when will this plague end? And living average of 18, that's nice. Alright, 2 more years, or is it 3 more years of game time at this point? Zeppelins is more market access. Should improve the economy in a bunch of places by a little bit. Wars on both fronts that to a certain degree we can kind of just ignore. Because they are reasonably automated in this case. Okay, so it's just a bunch of power plants at this point in the queue. So, fix that. Government administration, we need to figure out where tax dodgers are. Lower the tax burn a little bit. I think we only have tax burn because of the tax waste right now, but... And the tax waste, to some degree, will actually fix itself with the end of the flow. Okay. What to build next? Demand for various items, such as like 20 factories worth of art demand. So 2,000 there, so that's that much. Actually, technically almost 3,000. Or, yeah, almost 3,000. Interesting. Wood demand in theory is rising. Taxation capacity was short or infrastructure? A little both, actually. Though in Jiangxi, that's obviously tax. Yeah, unemployment is actually, for a country like China here, is actually surprisingly and almost to some degree dangerously low. Peasants are really low as well. Okay, so it's time to start engaging in some labor-saving PMs. Don't want to solve for the chainsaws. Steam donkey. Okay. How did the coal respond to that? Favorably. Aids. Back up to 2.5 million unemployed. Might actually just go full labor saving at this point. Or, well, everywhere it doesn't require electricity or oil right now. The Anti-Mask League. Okay, what's the oil price looking like? Decent high, probably worth doing the transition to diesel pump. Yeah. And then mine-wise, I think all the lead mines are developed. Okay, the lead mines are developed everywhere except for Persia. Let's just build all of them. Let's subsidize resource extraction, just to encourage any people to show up to our mines. Daily migrate to the mine locations. Trying to get one last sort of hurrah out of our GDP growth here before we end. So attempt to convince our citizens to move westward. Yeah, we're struggling to go up above, well, stay above 2 billion here as we start to run out of resources. Okay, new territory, new PMs to apply. Apparently new places to build power plants. Okay, this is going to be a long episode, but I think we're going to play out the last year and a half.
Oh.
Yeah, hoping that when this flu ends, we'll rapidly bounce back. Where possible, adopt electricity. Where not, we'll deal with the consequences. where are you gonna go? We'll see if the pandemic flu actually clears in that year. %1% population growth projected. Suddenly no migration, even though I got green and gas campaign there. We have an oil shortage. Of course we have an oil shortage. What do we take oil away from first? Food production. Enough. We do have a glut of coal, so we'll probably take it away from coal next. Yeah, I think we'll take it away from a couple plastic places first. I think this journal entry would be a whole lot less annoying if it was less pop-ups you gotta click on and see. There's no choices, right? It's just like, hey, thing pops up and tells you thing has happened. If there wasn't that, and or at least it told you the progress, so it's like, okay, you're tracking the progress of the thing, and then when it's done, it's done. You know what? We've been avoiding liquefying, or swapping some of these over to coal, but let's swap this one over to coal, for example. Did you swap over everywhere? No. That one can swap over as well. Oil demand rise, electricity supply increased, pollution also rising. I need stuff to build. The ever-increasing demand for more jobs. 20 jobs. Where we got some unemployment, maybe? Okay, about 50 more livestock plants. Any more opium plantations? Elevators, that's arcades. Oh, because I just did a bunch of steam power in a bunch of places. It's not too much of a problem. Did send coal real high. So now we're kind of regretting that we got swapped off of oil for the coal. That's reality. Well, coming up in the end of the game time, whether or not we're ready for it because of the bloody fluid dynamic is a different problem. transportation. Okay, we've only got 1 million in unrealized taxes. Almost there. Trying to get the last couple PMs properly swapped over. If we had oil, we'd probably try to do public transportation, but we don't. Okay, then market-wise, just get a bunch of demand for transports. Let's try to meet it. Okay, let's lay out what's left, and we'll see what gets finished before the end of the game. All that queue, apparently, I just realized is probably never going to get finished, because we're about to end the time, I think. The blue dynamic's still going, so we've got a suppression on GDP growth. Yeah. Game ends. So I hope everyone who's been watching has been enjoying. We only got up to about 2.3 billion GDP at the end. Had I not made the mistake and swapped over to per capita or proportional far too early, I think we probably would have been able to get up there much quicker. We would have been able to try pushing a little bit higher. But that's where this play ends. So, there at some point they added a let's continue. We're not necessarily going to continue. That's not, I don't want to load. We'll hit continue. And, yeah. So we just log in like that. Okay, we'll have a post-game save here. So yeah, hope you've all been enjoying. At some point I'll go back and basically play it with delaying that proportional transition. And hopefully that will get it going faster and quicker. This is where this part and this stream is going to go end, so I hope you've all enjoyed. So until next time, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next stream. Bye for now.